Okay, we've been trying to develop this middle area so that it's not so blank except for the trees. So, of course, the little wheelbarrow is in now. And then around the birch tree, I've planted lots of perennials. So they'll be up every year and they'll just get better and better and better. Mums and all kinds of other things, Mexican hats. Over here, we have a new bush put in, and I'm going to start developing a garden around it. Because you know, all you need is one focal point, and you can just keep on going. All right, the irises are being spread out because they're just in too big a clump there. So that's my project this month. Over here we have a native garden, and it's going to be filled with things that don't need a lot of water. It's a xeriscape project. And you can see the penstemons, that big green thing there. It's already bloomed, but it was filled with red flowers. We've got smaller penstemons around. And if you come around this way, all of these daisies and flowers, they'll come back every year, and they'll just get bigger and bigger. This is our new landscaping idea for the front, and you can see that it's pretty expansive now with white daisies and all. It just rained last night, so everything is pushed down. Violets, holly, honeysuckle. And over here is just herbs and wildflowers that are doing really beautifully under here, under the peach tree. I have a collection of columbines now, blue, pink, and yellow. They're not blooming right now, but they will be in the spring. This is just another perennial bed that's right now filled up with annuals. Lots of zinnias, but I'll be putting in more perennials so I don't have to do so much work with it. These are Mexican poppies. They're just allowed to go wherever they want. And when the sun is out, there's just a sea of pink faces there. Our new crabapple tree, and I've put some irises underneath. Just did that. So that'll be lovely next spring. Okay, we have new elm trees in, and of course behind that are the Arizona cypress, which are getting bigger and bigger. As you can see, panorama. We just do a panorama around there. You can see they're getting pretty big. Our blackberries are putting out berries, as you can see if you get down close. And we have 2 of them, so in time we're going to be overrun. We have a new poplar tree over there that we're working on, and we're getting ready to put in a big fig. That's why it looks so empty in that corner. We took out a tree that just didn't seem to thrive. The blue spruce are getting taller. They're happy. And we have an ornamental, I've forgotten what fruit tree it is, plum tree there in the center. And if you look over in the corner, you'll see Russian sage blooming purple next to a leyland, which is growing, doing very well. All right, we're going into my little perennial herb garden, and it is happy with the rain. Some of it is getting a little too big. We lost the willow in the center over here. On this side where you're looking now, this is a new area that I put together last fall. Let's go in. We have oregano and There's sage in the center and tarragon. Thyme over here, lots of thyme. And I've got to work on these roses, and I've got to move those irises out because they're going crazy. The lavender is my favorite this year. It really just started with a little plant last year, and it's getting huge. And it's ready. Mint. This is chocolate mint on one side, spearmint on the other side. I have citrus mint in another area, and it loves being here. Zinnias, just because I love them, but also because they're drawing bees. Trumpet vine, rosemary, and I love these yellow roses and the apricot colored one over there. This is a smoke bush in the corner, and it's fabulous in the spring when it has clouds of smoky looking blooms on it. Who says you have to plant in the ground? This is an old horse trough. It's filled with Armenian cucumbers and a pepper right now, and it's just thriving. And you'll see over at the straw bales that I have tomatoes in there. They're my cherry tomato collection. Well, we have lots of cucumbers and beans this year. I have bush beans and I have climbing beans. I have dill and basil, radishes, nasturtiums, eggplant. Here's some red chard here and kale, carrots, beets. My tomatoes are a little tippy this morning. I'll get those fixed. If you come around this way, tomatoes galore, but look at these sunflowers. You have to see what they're doing all along the fence here. I have red ones and yellow ones, and they've just lasted all summer. Okay, this is the other side of the cucumbers and the beans. You can see they're getting ready to do something. I'm getting blooms. The bush beans are already blooming, but these are going to be my best producers, I think. The peppers are looking beautiful, full of blooms. And you can see the onions coming up. That was a chive bed I moved out, and those are the leftovers. So this is just another angle. The sky looks beautiful behind those yellow sunflowers, doesn't it? This is an Egyptian walking onion. I'm getting ready to move it because it needs to walk further. And over beyond, you can see raspberries that we just transplanted this spring. So I'm not expecting a whole lot from them this year, but they're going to be really great next year. And look at our elm tree, how big it's gotten. We planted that when we first moved here, just a little baby that a neighbor gave us. And it thinks it's really something. This is an elm we put in last year, and it's looking really good. We have a sycamore and a little Austrian pine and one we don't know. This is the new livery. We lost the old one to a windstorm. This one is coming back, and it's doing a great job for us. On the other side of the sunflowers, we have squash, zucchini, yellow squash, and a cantaloupe down here. And beyond that, we had potatoes, which I'm getting ready to dig up now. This is one of the new bird houses and another planting area for you-know-who. We've been planting in the gravel area too, and this butterfly bush is doing beautifully. It's its third year, and you'll see a vitex down on the other end, and some catmint around. Another birdhouse. We have yet another birdhouse over here. We have another birdhouse over here, and a broom plant down here that should be. It's multiplied 3 times since we put it in, but we'll see what it looks like next year. It has yellow blooms on it. We put this Virginia creeper in last year, and it's just a beautiful screen on the west side of the porch. Pines and cypresses are growing beautifully here. They are really taking off, and we probably need a few more for a windbreak. New elms on this side of the gate, and then you can see the older elms on the other side, which have grown tremendously. This is the 3rd summer for them here, and my God, they're huge. For us, anyway. You'll see on the fence gourds that I'm growing for Christmas decorations, I hope, if they ever pop out. I put in Russian sage on each side of the driveway. This one is a little bit smaller, but it'll take off next year. And the gourds are taking a little space. This is a new perennial bed over here. I've got a few annuals thrown in just to fill it out, but it's going to keep on going. Yes, come on. Okay, you'll see lots of coreopsis and African daisies and lipstick colored flowers, a Rebecca, all kinds of good stuff, which will be even bigger next year. There's a forsythia bush here in the center. And then if we go over, we can see, and there'll be space around it for our girls. And this bush next to this is cotoneaster, is just huge compared with, it was just a little thing that we put in a couple of years ago. And then from here, just looking across at the cottonwoods. This is the old back porch, and you can see it's pretty big. We have a bag of pennies hanging over the table, but normally they're not there. It's to keep the flies away. And you can see we have a nice view from up here.